Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is my 2022 Toyota Supra, and in this video we're going to talk about why the Supra actually sucks as a daily driver. So the Supra is actually a fantastic vehicle and I really like it. I made tons of videos on racing and how it's been and everything, but today is going to be a more negative one because I've been having to daily drive this car for the past month because I sold my Tesla, and it's not very enjoyable for daily drive. So let's go ahead and hop inside and let's talk about why. All right, that startup sound is not one of the reasons. That is actually very fun. I love listening to it every day. But reason number one is certainly going to be getting in and out. This car is very low to the ground from factory. Like, mine isn't even lowered, but the car is very low to the ground, so you have to drop into the car every time you get in it. No matter what kind of technique you have, or sitting down and then sliding the feet over later, or whatever it may be, you still have to drop down into this car. And that's honestly, like, for number one, I'm just gonna start with the worst one. That's honestly the worst part, is just getting in and out. The roof line really comes down low here in the back part of the door, so sometimes you bump your head on it if you're not careful, especially if you're tall like me. Like, I'm 6'6". I understand a Supra is probably not an optimal vehicle for someone of my height, but even people that are shorter, they still have issues getting in and out of this car just because it's so low and you just have to fall down into it. And that can kind of wear on you when you're doing that every day. You know, when you're driving in traffic, you go to a grocery store to get groceries for the week or whatever it may be, and you just have to keep dropping down in and out of the car and stuff. It's just really frustrating. Or if you get in the car, you finally get yourself settled, then you forget something in your house and you have to get back out. It's just horrible. So getting in and out's definitely the worst part about daily driving the Supra. So that's number one. Number two, the storage space. So again, I understand this is a smaller vehicle, but the storage space is so minimal that you cannot carry anything extra with you. Like, yes, you can put stuff in the trunk, that's fine, but in terms of putting stuff in the interior, it's so hard to just put anything in here. Because if you have a passenger, forget about it, because then you can't use any of this space over here. There's no like back seat or anything like that, obviously being a two-door. Up here is barely enough room to put your phone. The cup holders are really small and they're in a very inconvenient spot. So even if you do have a cup in there, just grabbing it, the motion of grabbing it is not enjoyable either, because it's awkward positioning. Because if you try to reach back to grab it, you hit your arm on like the side of the seat and it's just not good. The storage back here is not very good either. I have some gum in there and some hand sanitizer, and that's literally it. The glove box is tiny. The owner's manual that Toyota gives you on this car is massive. So the owner's manual, if you keep it in the car, which most people do, takes up pretty much the entire glove box. So that renders the glove box useless. The door pockets, like, you cannot put anything really in the door pockets at all. Maybe some chapstick, and that's about it. So that's definitely a downside when it comes to daily driving, of course, right? I'm not talking about how the car sounds good and how it's fun to drive and the transmission's good, it's fast. That's all things that are great for a car that's on the weekend or a fun sports car. But daily driving, the storage space is just not optimal in this car. Number three, that kind of adds to the inconvenience, there's no trunk button on the outside of the car. So again, let's say you go to the grocery store and you want to put something in the trunk, because obviously you can't put anything in the inside. You go to the back, then you have to drop whatever you have in your hands or whatever, reach into your pocket, pull out the key to open up the trunk, because they don't have a button on the rear for the trunk. So that's just an oversight on Toyota's part. They have a button on the inside right here in this corner that's kind of hard to reach, but other than that, like, there's no button to open the trunk. Again, minor inconvenience, but again, we're talking about a newer 2022 vehicle. We're not talking about a 2002, whatever. Like, this is a modern car, so those are things that you kind of expect in a modern vehicle. Number four, this is another part that's really bad. The visibility in the blind spots. So again, if this is a weekend car, you take it out on weekends, you have some fun, you take it on your local back roads, there's no traffic, whatever, that's completely fine. But when it comes to daily driving and you're in a high traffic situation, like you literally cannot see your blind spot. So let me show you guys. Hopefully the POV can see. I'm gonna turn to my blind spot over here. Look at that C pillar. Or I don't know if that'd be considered a B pillar, but that is massive. Like there's nothing you can see over there. The mirrors also, like you kind of have to look around to see your blind spot. The mirrors are fine, honestly, they're not too bad. The rear visibility, I do have that wing, but that's fault of my own because that's an aftermarket modification. Even though I didn't put it on, I bought it that way. It's still not fault of the car. But the wing's in the way in the mirror here. The front windshield is the size of probably, I'd say it's 2 feet tall, the front windshield. So you're looking through this narrow slit of a windshield. So again, when you're tall like me, you're way up here in the headliner, right? And you pull up to a stoplight, you cannot see the stoplight. You have to literally duck your head down to see the stoplight or try to look at the one that's on the side. So the visibility is not optimal. My visibility off to the left, if I look like this, boom, I'm right into the headliner right here. So some of these things are because I'm awkwardly tall at 6'6", but it still makes this car not as optimal as other vehicles are for daily driving, like my Tesla, for example. But I'm not going to compare this car to the Tesla. I understand they're two different cars, but that's just the car I came from daily driving to start daily driving this one. Number 5 is going to be the super long door. So let me try to tell you guys what I'm talking about. So we're pulling into a Costco parking lot right now. I'm going to pull up next to a car, right? I try to park away from people, but sometimes you just have to park where someone's next to you. Let me show you how this door opens so wide and it sticks out so far. But not only is the car extremely hard to get in and out of, but combine that with the door opening super wide to where you kind of have to squeeze through a small slit, makes it just even worse. So let me show you guys here real quick. We're gonna pull up next to this white Chevy right here. Okay, he parked kind of on the line, but like, let's say I'm parked like this, right? Normal parking spot. They're about, I don't know, 3 feet away from me. If I open the door, that's notch level 1. I cannot open it to notch level 2 because it will hit that car since the door sticks out so wide past like the actual door. So then I'm stuck trying to squeeze through this small slit right here, and it just does not work. Like I try to squeeze through here, it's super awkward and hard. If I have something in my hand, like let's say I carried a bag or something with me and I'm trying to take that with me when I get out of the car, super hard, right? Just because of the way this opening is and the door. And that's things that are kind of nitpicky, weird quirks about the car, but those are things that you learn to get annoyed from when you daily drive it and you have to deal with it all the time. Right? If I'm taking it out on a cruise and I'm taking it to where like I'm not really parking next to anybody or whatever, then yeah, I can open up the door the full way and it's not as hard to get out. But in a normal daily driving situation, you're going to be in a parking spot or something, there's going to be a car next to you and you can barely get out of your car without hitting your door on theirs. Now, I never hit my door on someone else's car because I'm not going to do that, but you very well could if you're not careful. And then last but not least, this is kind of a dumb one, but again, it's a 2022 car. No remote start and no app where you can start the car. So here in Vegas, it gets really hot. In the summertime, you're looking at 110 degrees. And then inside the car is like 150 degrees. This car has no way of cooling it down ahead of time. My M2, it has remote start. My Tesla, obviously, it has the app. I can turn it on wherever. A lot of cars, even Fords that I sell, they have you know, the app where you can start the car from the phone. This has no way of remote starting the car. So there's two downsides to that. A, you can't get your car cooled down in the heat, you know, when it's hot out or whatever, or you can't get your car warmed up when it's cold. And B, you don't get to hear your car from the outside, because the nice part about a sports car is when you have remote start, you can start it up and you get to hear the exhaust from the outside, you know, when you're walking up to it or something. But unfortunately, no remote start. So those are my 6 reasons why the Supra is not a good daily. Now, I will say this before anyone gets all up in their feelings and gets all hurt and, oh, you know, he's talking shit about the Supra. The Supra is a great sports car, and that's its intention. But if it's going to be your only car and it's a car that you have to daily drive, it is very inconvenient in terms of, like I said, everything else, the storage space and the visibility, the getting in and out. So it is what it is. I will be getting a new daily here soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'll probably be keeping the Supra around because it's a fun extra car to have, But yeah, I'll definitely probably be getting a daily because this is not working out for me. Like, look at me in here. Like, my knees are pretty tight in here. Again, that's my fault for being tall, but my knees are pretty tight, right? I can't really see anything. Like, look at this blind spot. You can literally fit probably a Peterbilt 379 in that blind spot. Oh, and another thing about the storage, you guys might have been wondering, like, oh, you can just put it in the trunk. The trunk's a hatchback. You can just reach back, grab your stuff. It's not that easy, because guess what? You have these subwoofer things right here. So your trunk doesn't start right here where you can just grab your stuff. It starts like way back there. And my arms are really long. You can see I can reach the other door, right? I cannot grab my stuff out of there without contorting my back and twisting to try to grab something out of the trunk. And then again, if it's in the trunk, it's probably going to be slid around or in the back or somewhere else where you can't reach it. That pretty much sums up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Some idiosyncrasies about the Supra. I still love the car. I still recommend, if you guys want a Supra, just keep those things in mind if you are planning on daily driving it. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.